I guess I will keep talking until we figure out if we have audio or not, because that would help. Okay, we are good. Perfect. So, one of the projects I want to do tonight involves dyeing this white washcloth. So, we're going to do that now so that it has an opportunity to dye while we're doing other things. We're going to do this because it doesn't need to be color fast. We are going to dye it with Kool-Aid. So, we're going to start off with our green. We're going to add a little bit of salt because that helps. Do a little cold water to start the color process. And it smells good too, which is always a bonus. And we're gonna slowly add blue until we have the color I want. It might be going all the way with the blue. Yeah, let's just do it. Okay. So, bring it the rest of the way. I've got some hot water here. We're gonna slowly add. I want it even a little bit more blue than this. So I'm gonna augment it with a little dye. A little food dye should help. Hello, Frogman. Welcome on in. Let's see where that gets us. Definitely more blue. I think that'll be good. Keep that going. Mix it up. Nice tealy green. Just do a color test in the corner. Yeah, that's gonna do exactly what I want it to do. We're gonna submerge that in there. Nice and soaked. Needs a little more water to fully cover. We're just gonna go in with cold water. Hello.
Hello.
What brings you out today? Okay. Are you though?
A little bit.
Hi. That's most of it submerged. I am happy with that. All right, move this aside and just let it sit. Okay. Now, moving on, we're going to start working on our salts. With the salts, I put that one glitter away. More out here. I need it for air. So I don't have it out here. That's okay. We'll get back to air. Let's start off into our strainer because it's all a little clumpy from the humidity. One, two, three, and four. Just work it through. Sifty, sifty. Let's just make sure that there's no clumps so that when we mix it up later, it's easier. So these are our Epsom salt base, which is a medicinal salt, magnesium infused. So it's good for sore muscles, achy joints, swelling, inflammation. Come on, guys. Now some of these are bigger chunks, so there may need some help getting through, but that's all right. Hi, Mystery. Welcome in. And getting our salts ready.
It's my story. My story isn't over yet.
My story. I see it now. Sometimes it's hard to see the names because of the font, but that's all right.
Yeah. I'm working on better ways.
You're doing just fine, honey. All right. I am convinced there are no more clumps. Those are just the big crystals. So we'll let those through. Now this is going to be our ocean. I need my blue. Over here. And a bit of heat.
Oh, I'm Zulu. I'm the husband. I'm gonna be in the background, doing some packaging today.
Yeah. Alright, Grim, out of the kitchen. Grim is our big dog. He likes to be in the kitchen when we are both in here. But Grim is not supposed to be in the kitchen, no matter who is in the kitchen, unless he is specifically invited. Which does not happen very often. Alright, some alcohol in here. Get the color going. Strong. A little more teal. Lots of ASMR scraping today. So I hope you like scraping noises.
Okay,
Because-
that's going on over there too.
Yep,
Ah,
that one's empty, I
it's
think.
empty. Thank you.
Okay. So it's a little dark now, but we're about to add a bunch of white powders to it, so that's fine. Graham, I know you want to be helpful, but out of the kitchen. We should probably eat those bananas. Grim, that is the worst place you could have gone.
Those
Other.
bananas.
What?
Should definitely eat those bananas.
Okay. I'll go now in with our baking soda and our citric acid. All get sifted in. And gently tossed in. This should be a nice oceany color this time.
With the water.
Yeah. Sometimes I've gone a little too blue, but I like a nice teal ocean. More Atlantic colors versus Pacific colors. Not to say I don't like the Pacific Ocean. I think the Rocky coastline might be more beautiful than the other coastline.
It depends.
It does.
It's certain.
The cliffs of
Certainly
Big
the case.
Sur.
That's certainly the case if you're comparing it to Galveston and Corpus Christi.
Yeah. Just got some more colorant in. We'll be using this in a little bit, so I figure I might as well unbox it. Because it's also on my cart in my way. So we'll use that in a little bit. You have opened the sacred package. I suppose this is allowed. Okay, now we create a well in the center. I have my 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm gonna do, oh, can you give me the sunflower oil behind you? We're gonna do salsa, so everybody hold your breath.
Salsa.
Okay, so SLSA, but we prefer to call it salsa because that's way more fun, is a surfactant that creates bubbles and does a very good job in doing so. However, it is a lung irritant until it is mixed with oil. So that's why we do it a little bit separately. Now we'll do our cornstarch and make a paste out of all that. And I forgot to bring over my bucket of fragrance oils. Could I convince you to bring them to me?
I got it. Where are they?
They're on the kitchen table in the Halloween bucket. Conveniently.
I assume you need these two as well, since I see patchouli here.
Yes. Halloween bucket of oil for the Andrakins blend, which did not fit in the Halloween bucket of oil.
Oh, we like that fragrance, so we have a lot of it.
Yeah. So this is Ocean, this is Blue Agave. Nice, watery, refreshing scent. Now we're gonna try and gently mix this. Forgive me for holding my breath again, but I don't want to start coughing on all of you.
You have failed.
Failed. Okay, that should be most of it. There we go. Okay. The air feels fine again. So, I'm going to just work this through until there's no clumpies.
Not too many things to wrap up tonight.
No, it's not too bad. I bought more sticks so we can finish up the fairy ones too.
That's it?
I bought more sticks to do the fairy ones too.
Oh, neat. I will leave that for you because there's a more intricate process.
Yes. But if there are any stray stars on any of the trays, you can move them to the fairy one tray.
Okay.
I'll probably do them after I do some salts. All right. There is our water salt. Nice and easy, ready to go. Now this is one of our non-glittered salts because we want to have some that are glittered and some that aren't. But if you want to make a custom order, I will make it glittery as you want. All over the place. Okay. So, I'm going to change my gloves. I'm going to transfer this into another bowl to dry because I have one.
So many more. And then we get to debut these with the new labels.
Yay!
I'm really excited about the new labels. The new labels, I think, look really good.
I think they look really good too. So I just touched the dye we made off screen and it seems to be working.
Uh-oh, Lady L's coming at us with tackle bugs.
Radio! Welcome on in! Oh. Come in, come in. I am moving on to my next batch of salt. How are we? How have we been doing?
What you done did?
I broke all of the things.
You were only supposed to break half of them.
Well, you didn't specify which half, so I thought I'd cover my bases.
Yay.
And I grabbed more salt, which is right next to us. Oh, okay. It's on the other side of the counter. But close enough. You don't need to know the logistics of my kitchen.
I mean, it is a kitchen. It does not have a strongly dissimilar layout to most kitchens.
I don't know. I've been looking at houses online, and there's some funky kitchens.
Oh, I believe it. But ours is normal. Ours is not funky.
Yes, our kitchen is quite normal. Thank God.
I hope it is not doxing to say so. Someone out there is like, ooh, there's only one house in this United States that has a perfect kitchen. I will invade their house at once.
Well, our kitchen is a cookie cutter kitchen, so
Yep.
good luck figuring out which one we are.
Which makes it all the more ridiculous.
1, 2.
We are okay-ish. Okay-ish is good. It's better than
Not
better than
okay.
bad-ish.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
You just had another craft fair recently, didn't you?
Yeah, or getting ready for one soon.
It was this week or was it last week?
Also, I have to DM you. I have a project for you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my scrimps. Shaky, shaky.
Yeah, you.
Yes, you, Lady L. I've lost. That's okay. It's easy to get lost in our conversations at times. Recapping. When was/is your next craft fair?
No, we have a project for you.
Yes. September 23rd. Really nice. When was your last one? Okay, so when do you want a voice conference about it? Oh, we don't need to do a full voice conference. It's a very easy project. I have 2 little shrimpies that need to be turned into earrings. And they're very cute little shrimpies. But I do not have the equipment, time, or patience to do so.
Mainly the equipment.
And time.
Time is a factor too.
Is that all the lumpies? I think that's all the lumpies. Oh, nope, there was a lumpy. But pouring it out, I found it. Okay. So this is going to be our fire salt. Gloves. So you want them into earrings? Yes, I want them into earrings because they're super cute and they're little, and they even have little holes in their head where you could like insert a little eyelet barb thing. I don't know the term for it, but we shall send you more detailed info. Rubbing alcohol. Cover. Oh my god, this is the first recipe of this since Evan's last order.
Yeah. We accidentally made double of what he wanted, and it was gargantuan order.
Yeah, we made like 2 gallons worth. I don't know if I would quantify this alcohol as booze, Lady L. It is medicinal rubbing alcohol, and definitely smells like it. Ooh, there may be too much red in this one. That's okay, I'll pat it out with something else. I want it to be intense fire. So booze. Yeah, this booze. Booze that will make you go blind and kill you much faster than normal booze. Yeah, that's a good fire color.
Anything can be booze if you're brave enough.
Anything's food once.
Yep.
Why I have this basket on the side of me with the color hand
I don't know, I didn't do it.
is beyond me. But it is something that I have done, so I'm going to stick by it, I guess.
Like I said, I didn't do it.
No, you did not. But you did not advise me against it, so cahoots.
Didn't know it was something that needed to be advised against. I'm over here blind and deaf. You have others you want made into earrings?
No, just the shrimps. They're cute and tiny and shrimpy. And they're little Hello Kitty shrimp, so they're even better. Hello, Quick! Welcome to Salt Day! It's a day we do not have very often because luckily it makes a lot at once. But we have to replace all of our salts today. Because salts have done very well.
Especially this one, fire.
Nah, Bluey was the...
Well, yeah, Bluey.
Bluey's the winner
Bluey
lately.
has been. just
Bluey's blown
decimating
everybody
everyone
else
else.
away.
Bluey is a Pokeball of bath salts.
Right? Alright. Again, I will apologize in advance. I must hold my breath for the next ingredient.
Okay.
It is worth it.
That's what we get to do with the earth salts.
Make more?
Hmm?
Make more?
Yeah, but guess what we get to do during making more earth salts?
Realized that it was a bad idea to let you have a green screen.
Bad idea, she says. Who here thinks it was a bad idea? I don't see your hand raised.
Because I'm dealing with salsa.
Let the record show that off-screen Little Arrow's hand is not raised.
I didn't think my opinion mattered in this poll.
Your opinion always matters. It's your business.
What were we talking about again?
The green screen.
Oh, yeah. But have you been a responsible green screen user?
Of course. As has everyone else.
Lady L disagrees. She says nope.
Yeah, that's just like your opinion. Oh yeah, we didn't have that drop.
Oh, yeah. So, we got a little overwhelmed with bath bombs. Salsa. Dying. Water. Oh, also, it is officially Halloween cup time of year. So, if you have not switched from your summer cups to your Halloween cups, it is time. Yes, I know school just started. That is why.
My drinking cup is always a Halloween cup.
I know. And I love it.
Don't you know the ladies are always right regardless? The wife is more right than anyone else. Yeah, that's what my therapist tells me.
I don't know, my therapist was always a sassy black lady, and she would just look at me with the eye. If you've ever been given the eye from a sassy black lady, you know exactly what eye I'm talking about. It is trademarked. They teach it in first grade. Some children learn it younger, but seldom older than that. I never stopped celebrating Halloween. Yes! Like, I have some Christmas cups, but I have mostly Halloween cups. And then I have, like, a Starbucks Art Deco cup that's really pretty. But, yeah. So, cups all the time. All of the colors, all of the flavors. And we have fire. Now, I used to put gold glitter in the fire. I've stopped doing that because it's very popular among the guys, and it's expensive. And it has not deterred anyone yet. So I try and make about half and half glitter and non-glitter, so that people have that option. I feel like that's the nice thing to do.
Nice. Unquote.
Two salt
Instead of
Instead of just doing whatever I want to do all the time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Instead of just forcing exposure therapy onto everybody that thinks they hate glitter.
Oh, it's okay. I don't disclose which ones have glitter and which ones don't. The labeling either says may or does. So it's pretty visually obvious, though. We are not subtle in our glitter use here. Alright, I need to grab glitter, speaking of. entertain the masses.
Oh, look at that. All of our viewers are falling to 0. Yeah, we ended up not having our. We ended up not having our drop this month because by the time it was ready to drop, we had one soap that was at a point that we were comfortable packaging it. The rest of them, we just made them too late and they're not cured yet. And a couple of them are not even fully processed yet. It's just been an intense process, just this whole con season, trying to keep up with all of our stock. So, uncertain when we will drop all the Texas stuff that we made. We might just do it at the same time as the Halloween drop. We'll see.
Not to get political, but what's more spooky than Texas right now, right?
Ooh.
Alright.
Now, Texas's Halloween is in February when the freezes happen.
Oh yeah. And you go door to door, not sure if there's a dead body or not.
Otter Pop!
Otter Pops on a blue one.
What's the orange one?
I'll settle for green.
Don't settle for nothing. If you want a blue one, you're gonna get a blue one.
Thank you. Alright. Da-da-da. One.
Crush cream soda. Oh, no, stop.
Alright. It's pink. Ooh, nice. Oh, did you get the nice like soda and like A&W ones? For a while, Costco sold this out of the kitchen. Out of the kitchen. Thank you. Costco, all the way out of the kitchen. You can't hide behind me and assume you're fine, you silly dog. But they sold these like popsicle tubes. They were a cardboard tube. Not like the push-up pops, but like a cone-ish shaped tube that was full of root beer float. And those were really good. All of the salt. He's got a puzzle toy in there if you want to grab, or in the office if you want to grab it.
What's that?
He's got a puzzle toy in the office if you want to distract him.
Very good. He's trying to be in the way.
He's very good at that.
Oh, did I reset the bully stick
I don't know.
thing? I'm gonna go look. I don't think I did.
So So this time we put alcohol first. And then instead of color, we add glitter. So much glitter. Such sparkly glitter. So much glitter. So glittery, like crushed diamonds. So glittery. Alright. We've got 1 cup of citric acid, which we need to go through. We need to get more because y'all bought so many bath bombs over the convention season that we've gone through what usually lasts us 6 months in like 3. So, good problems, but now I gotta source more. My mind is in La La Land. I totally understand. We got handed our annual review stuff today. They're like, okay, you gotta do this. And I'm like, those are words. It's a lot. It's ridiculous. And like, we've got a nurse who's been a nurse for 25 years. And they're like, what have you done to further yourself as a nurse this year? She's like, I learned that I can't further myself anymore at this company because you're not willing to pay me anymore. Which is unfortunately very true. Okay. But also no one else will pay her more, so she's stuck with us forever. She loves us, so. And she's not allowed to say otherwise because we love her. Oh, so much glitter. Just every movement punctuated by glitter. Well, that's not supposed to happen. Was that just glued on? Not welded? That's stupid. My little handle just popped off. Stainless steel. No wonder they were cheap. They looked cheaper. That's unfortunate. Lies, Martha Stewart. Lies. Oh, that's fine. I can still scoop things with it. And for this fragrance, we go with the Indian Sandalwood.
Oh, started putting some text commands or some chat messages in whenever points are contributed to the bully stick.
Oh, good.
So that we have a little bit more visibility on them.
Grim will appreciate this, Steve.
I need to do the same thing for the regular Toss-A-Toy redeem because we have occasionally been missing that one.
We have. Okay.
The day we took off on Thursday, made some pretty good time with it. Did some updates to the stream. Got new alerts now.
Yeah. Always growing, always learning. You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. It just hurt a little bit.
Don't do that. So, I'm going by this recipe by memory, and I just realized I didn't double the salsa in each one, so I gotta go back and mix it in. But that's okay, because it's mixing in nicely now.
Hello, Wesker.
Hello! Welcome in. Moving.
Hope you're doing very well today.
Air Tribe salts into the bowl. Welcome to Little Arrow Salts. We are making bath salts today. So many bath salts. And I just realized the left ingredient out of the 2 batches I've already done. So we're gonna bring those back and mix it in. Without it, it would just be slightly less bubbly, but we want the bubbles.
Yeah, we sell them as bubble baths.
Yeah.
So
It needs all of the bubbles in there. I'm good. How are you? We're good. Dying in the Texas heat slowly, just like our grass.
no,
But-
our grass did not die slowly.
True. Our grass went fast and painfully, screaming into the night. More bubble powder.
I am just off screen doing some packaging. We are getting ready for Anime Matsuri, which is our very last convention this year.
Yes.
It will be nice to have a break.
Indeed.
Whew, made it.
All right. That one is corrected.
I can't help but feel like you need the Kirby's extra cute this time.
Oh, thank you. Maybe I'm just getting better and better at them.
I mean, how many have you had to make this year?
I think 50 or 60.
I think you might be undershooting that a bit.
I might be.
Shall we take a look at the stats?
Yeah, let's look at the stats.
Let's go.
Yeah, this color looks more like what I was anticipating. I thought it was a little dark before.
We have sold 58. So this batch,
Plus the 2. So I've made 70?
about 70, yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Hello, Skull Crusher. Welcome in. How has the skull crushing gone? Have we been successful with our crushing of skulls? I'm gonna go grab more salt. Salt. Bucket of salt.
He says great. The skull crushing is going great.
Perfect. I know those zygomatic bones can be hard sometimes, but I've got faith in you. All right. We are revisiting blue, but this time we're going blue for Bluey. And I just put away the glitter that I used for Bluey. I'm gonna go grab that again.
I just having to run all over the place.
Well, luckily I keep glitter in the cabinet now. Because I use it so often.
Otherwise,
Okay. Now let's make some vivid bluey blue.
oh
Oh no! Lots of alcohol. We did not sift this one. That's okay. We will just individually crush each one now. This is what happens when we don't sift it first. We go in and we have to individually crush each little clump, which can be satisfying, but is also annoying.
Too many things to crush. I'm sure Skull Crusher can relate.
Luckily, as you mix in the color, the bits that need to be crushed stay white because they aren't absorbing the color properly, so it makes it easier to find them. Okay. Now we add an appropriate amount of glitter.
And what is an appropriate amount of glitter, we ask?
Exactly that much, Chef.
Yes, Chef.
Basically, you keep going until you can see it really well. Which means it's almost time to order more glitter. Because they didn't have a giant jar of this one last time. But it's okay because we also need more unicorn glitter soon. And it's been sold out for a while. So hopefully they'll have that back in stock too. Beautiful. We have nice sparkling of glitter here. Nothing too aggressive, but definitely glitter.
This one moves.
I need more acid. I'll be right back. To the other side of the counter again.
We're so prepared today.
It is convenient when everything is in the same room.
I do agree, and that's why I am looking forward to one day having a studio.
Agreed. We will have our studio, and it will be amazing.
Fantabulous. It will be a sensation.
There's our good Bluey Blue. If you're not familiar with Bluey, Bluey is a children's television program from Australia that has a wide cult following here in the States, both among small children and not so small children.
We have been told repeatedly to watch it, we just have not gotten the chance to yet.
We haven't had the time to watch the shows we've already watched.
Yep.
We'll get there, I promise.
I had lunch with my coworkers the other day, and they had mentioned a movie from the 80s that I hadn't seen because I was born in 1988. And they said, man, I can't believe you haven't seen all of these movies. We need to make you a list of all of these movies so that you can watch them and understand our references. I'm like, dude, I don't have time to watch the movies that I want to watch.
Yep.
Much less your weird stuff that probably hasn't aged well.
Probably not. I remember watching MASH with my dad. He's laughing, and all I'm thinking of that is,
The movie.
wow, the movie, yes.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking half the time is like, wow, Houlihan had rights to get each and every one of those guys court-martialed for sexual harassment.
Oh, for sure.
Each and every one.
And not just her either.
No, every woman on that base. And that portion did not fare well. Alright. You want to catch an empty tube?
Go for it.
That was not a great throw. I will take blame for that one.
It's okay, I saved it because it was about to crush one of these star bath bombs.
I'm augmenting a little bit of the plain blueberry with a blueberry muffin because I'm just shy of what I need. So we'll see how that works. But I have ordered more actual blueberry because we're going to be doing some more blueberry stuff. Okay. Ooh, that blueberry muffin adds some vanilla in here, and I'm sure the kids are gonna love it. But I'm not a big fan of that vanilla fragrance. But it should smell well. Okay. Bluey. So, move this out of our way. Find a home for it somewhere on the counter. Okay. So, the next one we're doing is kind of special because we're going to do it in two parts. So let's tidy up a moment, make some space. Teal can stay out. This can stay out for now. I need stars. I don't need either of you. I need this mysterious black powder. And I need salt. Okay. So this is all of the cotton candy glitter I have left, which is not enough for the triple batch I usually do. We're just gonna do a double batch, which is fine. Alright. Don some fresh gloves. Then for this one, I need these containers so I don't muddle up the whole process. Okay, so the first half, I need just 2 cups of the mix. Okay. So, there are 2 cups. We're going to add our rubbing alcohol generously. Then we're going to take our black powder here. Now this black powder is special because once it hits water, it turns pink. But until it does, it's a nice black. And a little goes a long way. Have some more. Nice dark black void. We're going to pour this off into a separate container because we don't want the black color interfering until the end. Just to show you what happens. Here's our black. It's very concentrated, pinky red, and it looks so cool when it hits the water. But, alas, let's keep it a secret. That's the fun of the color change. Alright, now, we do our other color. And we'll add in our teal. Just a pocket of blue. Okay. And our rubbing alcohol. Now we want this a pretty deep teal because when it mixes with the pink later, it'll create a really vibrant purple. So we're going to start with like dark unicorn and then it goes to bright. Now we're going to mix everything the same as if we had both colors in there, but we don't. Don't do that. Don't forget your phone. So this gets really light, and then we'll bring back in the black. That helps a lot. While we're at this stage, we're going to add a buttload of unicorn star glitter and unicorn cotton candy glitter. Just gently mix that in. Now these are all water-soluble glitters, so they will dissolve. You shouldn't cause any problems with your drains or with turtles or anything like that. Out of the kitchen. Go on. Go on. Out. Really?
Also, Greg, come here.
Also what?
Also won't get into any places you don't want it to.
Really?
It's a concern that we've had many times. Grim Goodiebo.
Yeah. Concern that is brought up to us, which a thing. Great. Go to your pillow. They're being very needy tonight.
Dad, how you doing?
Hello, Mr. ADHD Games. Welcome in.
You back from Gen Con?
How was it? Did you have fun?
Any games we should definitely play? That's a really important question. Did you have a safe night? Was the hotel nice?
No, let's get down to business. What games do we need to
Give me
play?
the games.
This one is scented in watermelon sour candy.
So many games, too many games. I can imagine. Hopefully we can make it up there one day.
That'd be cool. Okay. Got our oils in. Attempt to make a paste.
Is Boop that tic-tac-toe cat game? Graham, there you go. I've seen it advertised. I would totally be down to get that game.
What about, okay, I'm gonna sneeze because of the salsa. Come on. No, I've acknowledged it, so it's gonna go away now. Yep, it's gone. Have you seen, played, heard of any of the above or all of the other, the duck game, Abduction? With the little rubber duckies and aliens? I've seen it advertised, but, you know.
I haven't seen that one advertised in a while.
It's come back around. Okay. So, all of the teal is together. Now we're going to gently add the black in without over mixing it because we want it to kind of have the separation of color.
How much is Boot selling for right now? You know? You know how much you got it for?
I'm gonna put a little bit in here. Show you guys how this color turns out because it's so cool. Alright, I'm gonna move this out of our way.
Oh, 30 is not bad for a game at all.
30 is not bad for a game at all.
At all.
At all. Alright, so we have our mixture in here. Now there's gonna be a little bit more black than teal, but that's okay. So we get a little foaming action. But it'll be a little bit more purple than this and a little less concentrated in the bath. But it's such a cool, fun color change. I love it. Yeah.
It is fun. This was our Pokeball of bath salts until Louis came onto the scene.
Yeah, Louis is just like, nah, I'll take your place now.
Alright. I should probably run an ad real quick.
Okay, run an ad. We're gonna do Winchesters. And then fairy wands. And then we shall move on to other things. Get off of your pillow. Yeah. Are you gonna behave this time? No. Pillow. Had a chance. You broke it right away. Go on. Pillow. Pillow. Pillow.
Graham, come on. Oh, he is being a brat today.
He's out of water. Not far from the water.
Go for water so quick.
It's hot, and our weird black dog likes to lay out in the sun.
Yeah.
Grab belts for the last round.
I think we should really keep these in the dry room overnight. Salt one is passive.
Felt a little soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really clumpy.
We also kind of packaged some right after making them, just for time's sake.
Yeah, true. It was the air.
Yeah.
Okay, Green. Go ahead. In fact, please go drink some water.
Yes.
That goes for all of you out there if you can hear me.
Hydrate. All right. Last salt. Oh, we were a thirsty boy. Maybe that's why we were bugging us.
Oh, Graham.
Out. Out. Where's your babies? Go find a baby. You have so many babies in this house to entertain you with.
Mountain Dew.
Nice.
Mountain Dew. Okay, have you tried? God, what was it? It was the apple Mountain Dew.
Thrash apple.
Thrash and apple, yeah.
Oh,
Have you tried that? Because
I tried the passion fruit Baja Blast. Don't like it. But I also don't like original Baja Blast. So
I don't know. I got this weird thing with Baja Blast. It's like I don't love it. But I still feel the need to get it every time I go to Taco Bell.
They have another exclusive. But it's basically just Mountain Dew and orange juice.
I'm actually not sure how to feel about that.
Well, if you described the flavor, you're drinking the passion fruit one? Nice. If you had to describe the flavor of basic Mountain Dew, what fruit would you attribute it to? Because I'm going to blow your mind.
Just citrus in general, so lemon, lime, and orange.
Okay. If you look at the ingredients label, the number one flavor component is orange juice concentrate.
Interesting.
No, it's not Mountain Dew LimeWire. Or Livewire. It's Mountain Dew like Sunrise or something like that. They actually like mix it in store, so
yeah,
it's like special.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, everyone thinks that, but it's not. It's not the same.
Do they have that at our Taco Bell?
This one right here? This one right here doesn't do breakfast, so I don't know. The one by my work does. I will look. All right.
Curious to try it. All right. Bath bombs are packaged and labeled.
Sweet. Would you mind gathering the fairy ones for me? This is our black. There should be a tray in there that has most of them on there. Alcohol. Berry. Squish. So these are our Winchester's Demon Salts. KFC has one and Buffalo Wild Wings as well. Yes, KFC, Buffalo Wild Wings. 7-Eleven had one, but I have not seen it. Even when they did this little launch party, they didn't have it by us. It's like a blackout or something like that. That's not black enough for demons.
Darkness.
No parents. That also works for the Winchester brothers. At least after season 2. And if you're going to say spoilers on that, if you know anything about Supernatural or any show that focuses on 2 brothers, their parents are dead. If you weren't going to guess that the dad dies, I'm not going to tell you when, I'm not going to tell you how. But if you couldn't guess that, you need to watch more TV. There we go. That's the black I want. Okay. Making messes all over the place.
Other thing going through water fast is that dehumidifier.
Yep. Which is crazy because it's really not that humid outside comparatively. Because it's been so hot for so long, all the humidity is actually starting to burn off for once.
Well,
Okay. This goes gray, but as soon as we add the oil, it'll go black again. Because this is an oil activated color. Unlike the black pink, which is a water activated color. What you looking for?
processing stuff.
If it's not at the end of the table over there, then it's probably in the soap room.
Oh, it's right here.
You may need more gold dust. I have it right here on the table.
Okay. We'll cross that.
Okay. Salsa powder. Do not eat the salsa powder. It will upset your tummy.
Don't eat anything when we make. That's that cake.
And even then, don't eat my cake. That's mine. If I wanted to share, I would have invited you. This is a very pretty jellyfish.
Okay, so I see the stamp, but I don't see the peeler anymore.
The peeler should be over there. Unless the peeler's over here because I peeled stuff over here. Small chance it's somewhere this general vicinity. I would assume it's over that way.
Yeah, probably. I'm
'Cause-
just looking over here to cover my bases.
Nope. Ooh. Winchester's Dark Crystal. Scrapey, scrapey. Lids. And everybody back in the bucket. Okay, everyone that fits back in the bucket. It's not all of you. That works. Okay. Cough-inducing paste.
Yeah, put it in the dishwasher in the moment of luckiness.
Perhaps. We have some more in the soap room in the drawer, but they're not as comfortable as that one. Okay, nice blackness. Oh. Come on. Oh, where's the plate of of candy and stuff?
Over here.
It might be on there. Okay. Winchesters are complete. Got a couple things back on my cart.
Yay.
Bless you. Alright, I'm gonna clear this station and get set up for the next thing and help you look real quick for the peelers.
Yeah, it's fine.
No rules, like if I find it, I get to smack you with it. That's always a fun game.
Yeah. I don't feel like playing that today. Thank you, Midnights. I am not particularly fond of the idea of being smacked by a potato peeler.
That's fair.
It's fine. It's not a massive problem.
No.
Find it later.
Okay. I mean, there is a spare one in the soap room.
If it comes to that, I'll use that.
Okay. Back to cleaning up my workspace real quick. Because I'm a responsible child. The other lies I tell myself to keep organized. Let's check on our dye job. And our dye is looking like it's done exactly what I want it to do. Always nice. Wring it out. Now, I'm not looking for this to be color fast. I am not looking for this to last forever. But that's gonna work. Soak that back in here and get the rest of this color off of my hand. Most of it's off, the rest will come off with shampoo. But so I don't get color on this that I don't want to be there, I'm just gonna use this hand. This is perfect. Nice kind of tealy blue-green It almost looks white on there, but in person it's very much teal. And it's perfect, exactly what I was looking for. Do that right there for right now. And I could leave it in. I don't want to. I'm not going to. Kool-Aid doesn't do a hugely deep dye job, but that's not what I'm looking for. So. This has worked as desired. Oh, we got some black on here. Clean up our space. Carrying around colors. Potentially making more of a mess as we go anyway. Okay. Nice and clean. That black paint really goes a long way. I love it though. Alright. So, next little prep bit we need to do. I'm sure if you've been around here for a while, you've seen me make these stars. Today we're going to turn some of them into fairy wands. So, I need a chunk of clear soap, melt down. I don't need much. Cut off a little piece here. Then I need a tiny cup, which are over here. I'm going to melt my little piece of soap in my tiny cup. It's clear soap, so I don't know why I showed it to you. But know that it is there. That's done. Always fun. That should be enough. Okay. Give her a little cup. And then my sticks here. So what we do is we dip the stick into the mix, and then we insert it. And I need a little more. That is a larger hole, for these are smaller sticks. Little drips. Insert stick. Yeah, that feels better. And we gently lay it down as it solidifies. Out of the way before I forget. There. But you know, our microwaves are like soap isn't super out of the ordinary. So after these set up, we'll wrap them and go from there. And then once these get wrapped, they get a ribbon. They're super cute. So happy. Little fairy ones. And then when you unwrap them to use them, you swirl it in the water like a magic potion, and it leaves like patterns and trails as it goes. And this is just all the extra from different batches of bath bomb so that it doesn't go to waste. Otherwise, we would either use it ourselves or dump it, depending on how much we have, because sometimes we have a lot. Like from various. Getting near the end. This. So I need to cut and melt a little bit more. But that's okay. I have 20-ish pounds of clear. Whatever I want. Hello. Alright. Into the microwave. Not as long this time. That should be enough time. And then right. Perfect. Landon Maui has requested a pink and red rimmed soap that has each bar cut into a different shape and smells like buttery. Ew. I mean, we have to think, like, technically, we're smelling boogers all the time. So, like, what does a booger smell like? We're smelling boogers all the time. Yeah. I mean, that's where they live. In our noses. So, all the time. So it would just be a unscented soap, I guess. Now that some of these are set, I want to orient them better. Made with real booger. Only the finest for our fans. Local, ethically sourced boogers. Welcome to the channel and the weird stuff that we talk about sometimes. Oh, there's so many of these. Are gonna look so good all arranged. They're made of real Girl Scouts. Too much. And it's still really warm. Drip, drip. Alright. So many. We don't usually do this many at once, but it's very nice. Nice to have so many all at once. This is gonna look so good in the vase, because we put them in a vase like a flower arrangement. And right now we have 4 in there. We have 2 yellow and 2 black. So this is gonna add some fun variation. So yeah, so these are gonna set, but some of these are set already, so yeah. They're very fun, very whimsical, and a nice use of extra powder. I see other people do lollipops, but they do them on lollipop sticks, so they're like this long. I'm like, I want to put them on the whole 11-inch stick, so it's a whole foot-long fairy wand. I think it looks better. Feels so weird if it was that short, wouldn't it? Right there, I guess. Yeah. These are so funny. Kids are gonna want those. They do love these, but if we have less than 6, I would say, they don't sell. I don't know if people think that they're fake or just a prop, but if we have a whole vase full of them, then they sell really fast. But if they don't sell that day, it'll be weeks, if not months, before the rest of them sell. And I don't always have them, so it gets frustrating and silly sometimes, because it's like, dude, I sold 11 of these in a single day. Got a good sign from? No, I don't. I probably should put a sign on the vase. Got enough people who do Cricut stuff. Maybe I'll get them to do a special thing for the vase. We used to wave them around a little bit, and that got confusing for people, I think. I don't know. We gotta mess with it a little more. Luckily, it's not something we have all the time, so I don't mind if we keep them for a while, because it is technically a byproduct product, but I still like them. All right, I'm gonna put these aside, and then we have a project to work on, which I kind of need to dry this for. But I have a heat gun, so in theory, I can use that, right? Yeah, the bath bomb signage is rough. I was thinking of maybe putting something at the top of the towers because we've done a better job at dividing them by price that way, but it's so different every market. All right, I'll be back. Well, I guess I could just set these here and then wrap them. All right, let me go grab my new friend. Alright, so here's my new friend. I will explain what I'm going to do with him while the glue gun heats up. But there are shenanigans afoot, and I'm very excited. I am going to briefly attempt to dry this one. See if that does anything. I guess it's just like any other blow dryer. We'll deal with this portion after this. Yeah. Getting pink on it though. That'll be fine. Deal with that. Alright. So there is a very expensive ice bucket that I really liked because it was a skeleton sitting in a bathtub. And I was like, oh my god, that's adorable. I want one. So I went to Home Goods to find it. And it was $160. And I'm like, well, I can pick up a skeleton for like $20. Yeah, that one. Yeah, you can wash it out if you like. And I could do more fun things with him because he's my skeleton now. So we are going to put a skeleton in a bathtub, but he needs to be dressed appropriately first. Where are my little?
Get these paper towels.
Cut out all the tags. I just went to the grocery store to buy washcloths and hand towels. There wasn't a huge selection, which is why we dyed this one our other color. This is going to be his head turban, but we must be modest skeletons. So, here. So we are going to wrap our skeleton as though he is, or she. Let's look at that pelvis. That's a girl. Nice wide open pelvis. Those bones shift forward. We'll be good. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap her as if he is being modest in the tub. Okay, that should work. Sorry, I'm going to go off frame a little bit here in order to figure out draping, because she's a good sized skeleton. Okay. Okay. Lovely. I'll take that. And then I have lots of bathtubs, so that was not a problem. Yeah, some of it's just cheap paint taking on color.
Yeah.
So, stretch her legs out. Wrap her a little. And we're gonna glue gun her to a couple of ribs so that she remains. Well, so that I don't have to reclothe her every time we move her, basically. Now, this is not the first time, nor will it probably be the last time, that I have clothed a skeleton on this counter. This is the first time I'm doing it on stream. Last year, I did a Jack Skellington, bought a Halloween decoration, put him in a toddler's Santa suit, and casted him. And he was adorable. That's perfect. So instead of spending 160 plus whatever shipping was going to be on a skeleton in a bathtub, I'm just going to make a skeleton in a towel that can do whatever I want. Alright. I'm going to need another glue stick. Ooh, can I ask you for one more thing? Can you go into the soap room, and in the poppy box, there are glue sticks. And the great thing is, like, I'll tell my coworkers that I've done this tomorrow.
What was that for me?
No. I'll tell my coworkers tomorrow that I did this, and none of them will be surprised. They'll be surprised I haven't brought her into work. She might go into work at some point. Ah, yes. It's looking so good. And she should be just wide enough to sit in the tub with her legs and her chest out. Very excited. Grazie.
Ooh, you got purple hands.
Yeah. Comes the rest of the way it comes out with shampoo. Leg out, lady. And we'll go on this side in rescue position. Tuck your knee. Tuck your shoulder. There we go. Fun fact, if someone ever is passed out, put them in this position. They'll be safe. See, no one can ever say we're not an educational program now. Lounge comfortably. Don't knock things over with your hands, m'lady. Today's stream will save a life. You never know. Spooky. Let me stand her up and see how this drapes. Okay. Well, wrapped around on the floor. Okay. Something like this. Spooky, scary pink towel. Never know, could be someone's worst nightmare. Just think of how scary it would be if you washed all your whites and they came out pink. No. It was black when I bought it. Yep. And then to make my life easy, we're just gonna tuck it into her bones. Good. Front. Perfect. Look at her all done up. Perfect. Alright, so when the time comes, when those are dry, what's this for? This is for our Halloween display. Well, I guess it's green enough to be picked up. So, this is kind of the idea. I'll be able to fiddle with it more once it's actually dry and I can actually glue it in place. But basically a head wrap, hair turban kind of feel. So we'll deal with that once this is dry. But let's see if she fits in my tub, which she should. She does nicely. Her torso rotates. Humorous doesn't have full range of motion. That's pretty good. Probably a little bigger than I needed. But look how cute she looks. There, all the way down so you can see. Just lounging in her bathtub. And then we'll fill it with bath bombs all around her. It'll be so cute. I'm so excited. I love it so much. Now, one of our problems with this tub is always that it's so big. There's so much space to fill. So that will not be an issue anymore. And she looks so good. I love it. I will take a forward-facing photo to put into the stream so that you can actually see what she looks like in her full messy hair glory. Alright. For those of you who are in our Discord, I'll post that picture right now because it looks so good. I am in love. And especially once she gets her little hair wrap on there, it'll be perfect. Love it. Absolutely love it. What time is it? 9:23. So, I have two options for all of you. I can either call it a night here. I can start a new project. Or we can finish off a project I already started off stream. Or whatever we want. What is your thoughts, Zulu? As we sit here with our basking skeleton. Maybe I should put some cucumbers on her eyes or something. It's already 9:30. I'm good to keep going if you want to. All this modesty has made me realize that Bob, our classroom skeleton, has been treating our apartment as a nudist colony for the last 8 years. Yeah? Maybe you need to get Bob a towel. It's rather fetching on her. She looks very good. She will need a name, though, I suppose. She's definitely going to need a name. So if anyone has any name suggestions, he's only wearing a Mardi Gras beads and a cowboy hat. I mean, he's wearing Mardi Gras beads. That feels appropriate. Bubbles. Bubbles is a good name. Like it. Yeah. Sopina. I like Sopina a lot. That's really clever. But let's see. I have a mini project that I've been building that I'm actually pretty close to the end on. So maybe we just finish that up. That might be nice. But Zulu, I will need to be fed at some point. Wanna get some Daves? I think Daves would be nice. Daves? Yes, Daves. Okay, I am going to move our beautiful Sopina because I love that. That's just perfect. We're gonna go with that for now. I'm going to move her to a safe place so that her head turban can keep drying and she can just continue living her absolute best life in her tub. So. Alright. Bring over my other project. See what I'm working on. Right here. So this is the little miniatures kit I've been doing to keep my sanity on the side. I have another one to do with you guys at some point. Just got another one because I very much like them. This was the first one I did. So this is the Magic House. And it's a little bookcase alleyway and it lights up. And it's super detailed inside. And even on top. And it's really cute. And it sits on our bookcase. It's a little, very tiny details and little gluing and things. It's a lot of fun. This back on my shelf, and I'll show you what I've done so far on Alice's Tea House. So, this is the Alice's Tea Store or Tea House. I am most of the way through, so I have the little storefront made. Closer. So we have our front window, all these little tea boxes and cards and different dice and clocks. And then just completed this side and the floor and this door. And then I've already made to go inside the tea shelf. Finding the right place. So this has, try to get it to focus maybe. This has tea and cookies and crystals all on the counter. Little packages and parcels to sell. Then I have a couple other little accessories that I've made. Little sparkly butterflies. My little March hare. These need to be re-glued. Do it real quick. Glue's pretty fast acting, pretty strong. Yeah.
Tenders.
Tenders. But I want 2, so get 1 a la carte. Because they only sell 1. They have a 2 tender meal? Oh, nice. That must be new. Balls to stick back. Last little sheet here. My tiny little wardrobe with all of my tea, and there's teeny tiny little labels that are actually written out on all of these. They're really cute. And a bunch of other little like plants and things like that. So I just finished making this panel. Actually still a little damp on that side, but that's okay. The box to the side here. Let's see. Did that. I'm over here. So now we put that on the back of the building, which seems like a pain. You also do all your own wiring because these all light up. And that pretty basic wiring. We'll see if I did it right this time. I wasn't sure about last time, but I did. So here's hoping for this time too. So this goes on the back here. There. Before I put on glue, I want to see how it fits. Against there, and against there. So, put my tiny bit of glue along here, and then along here a little bit, because Gonna wrap the corner. And then the other one fit into it a little bit along there. I have found this glue. It's best to let it actually dry for a minute before you stick it in. So then from there, we'll be constructing battery box. This little leaf came off of this little plant. Tiny bit of glue from here. Get back on. There you go. Work it in. There. I'm just gonna hold this as that glue finishes setting. Is it the same if commanded twice? Sometimes it is, more often than not. Miniatures are so underrated. I really like these kits, these ones specifically, because everything aside from like the decorative paneling comes pre-cut, so I don't have to do that portion. I bought another kit from another company. I'm like, oh, this is going to be the same. It's not. I don't enjoy it nearly as much. And the product just didn't look as crisp either when all was said and done. But I'm enjoying these. Okay. That's been held enough. A little bit more on this side. There it goes. All right. Like this with it. Now we're going to build the battery box. So all of these wood pieces are pre-laser cut. They just snap apart pretty easily. They also include some sandpaper to fix any little leftover tabs. Just gotta go slow with it. ever so gentle. And in these bigger kits, they actually reuse these pieces as like scaffolding for walls or floors and stuff, which is nice. Reinforces them a little more and doesn't have a whole lot of waste. Look had a fair amount. This is a miniature tea house. All right. So this piece. One, no. One, C, X, one of these. And then C30. This guy. C8 is this guy. So, Coca Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, please. Saw an ad for one on Instagram that looked like a street in Kyoto. I have that one. I have that one sitting on the other table. And I just forget which one I got. I got another one. Now, I do find the book ones are a little more tight fit, don't need to use glue and all that stuff. This one definitely needs glue and a little more precision for a little more time holding things and different stuff like that. But I like them both. Full aesthetic with the book and yeah. The other one, I don't know if you saw it or if you missed it. I also have the little magic shop one. I love that one. That was the first one I got. I could see me doing more. It's such a simple thing, but it's really relaxing. It's kind of like Legos, but a little bit more like cottagecore aesthetic. Magenta and white spoon plop soap that you make while blindfolded and smells like chocolate pudding. Yes. White, magenta and white. Universal symbol. Chocolate. Yes. Indeed. Don't you know, Zulu? These little guys get stacked up. Blindfolded chemistry. Yeah. It's quite fun when we play the game trying to guess the scent off of aesthetic because I very rarely include ones that match. But I know some people are like, oh, I'm just gonna make it look like whatever I want because that's fun. And that's totally fine, but like, if you're selling, I feel like you should be able to identify what. Alright. Let's double check that there are no batteries in here before I start wiring things. Not that it'd be bad, but no batteries in there. Wouldn't be a bad shock, but I don't want to get shocked at all. Let's start to set my little blocker here. I started following this Instagram account that does these, and they have their own store, and they're charging like double what you would pay on Amazon for the same sets. So if you're interested in them, Amazon so far has the best prices. Let it set for a minute. I want it to end. Tiny amounts of blue. Alright. Now it says to put in batteries at this point. I'm gonna wait till the end. No zapping here. Ugh. No! Stay in there. Do the thing you're supposed to do. Come on, I'm almost through. A little more wire exposed. Oh. And then we do the same on these. These are so thin. Actually strip them with the razor blade. my insulating tube. I want cut 2 centimeters. So a little generous because we can. All right. Now to the wires. They want yellow. And white. And then that's covered. All right, I grab a battery, test my wiring, and see if it actually works. All right. So there's one little light top of the shop, and if it doesn't turn on, we're not going to take the whole thing apart in order to fix it. Nope. Something's not right with my wiring somewhere, and that is fine. No, that's all right. I don't feel like taking the whole thing apart because it's something with the end piece here most likely, and this doesn't need to light up. This isn't like the book. If they hadn't had me glue the whole thing in, I would probably care more. But now I do not, and it's not working, and I don't feel like pulling it apart. In that case, I'm not even going to include this. I'm just going to chop that off because that's one less thing to worry about. Perfect. All right. Now, I made a tiny little lamp post. And that's going to go on the outside over here. Let's go ahead and cut down this excess right here. that's not hanging over anymore. And we'll put our little dollop of glue for that. B13. So I need this piece. B13 bag. It's really convenient that they list what bag each thing is in as well. Oh, here it is. B13. B6. B4 is this one. Okay. So, little glue on here. A little glue at the bottom. Let that start getting tacky. And our here should be ready. Very nice. All right. Then we're going to take our this here. So B4 is going to get glue all the way along it. As is 6. Just set up for a minute. And then B13 has a little nubbin on it that they want us to cut off. Off that. And we'll get that glued ready too. No, I'll never stop coughing. That top there. Top right here. This molding it's this side. Molding along the edge to match the back. Goes all the way around. All right. Rotate forward. finally put our lid top there. So we need to prep the teapot. Which there is, and a teacup over here. A little decal that needs to go on the teapot, and I forgot it on the table. Did I? Yes, I did. The last little piece on here. And it's just so tiny. A lot of these pieces are. That little heart. That's it. Rub it around on the glue. And put it on our teapot. Glue stick is pretty much dead. New one. Alright, so we run glue along the whole top here. Nicely. And have our main sign all ready to go. Press that down. So that finishes off the sign and the top of the box. Now a little glue on the end of teacup goes right here. And another dollop on the pot, which goes right here. Hanging out there. Then I have, and here he is. There is bird. Birds hanging out on the roof, as birds do. And a little arrow here. Fran. Welcome on in. We're making a little tea shop right now. So we've added our bird, our drink meat. Now we need to cut a little handles here. And a little glue on each one. That slides right into a set of holes right on the front here. Don't want it quite flush. And then they want us to put a butterfly, medium butterfly. Right at the end here. And then our bunny out front. Right up front there. Oh, I forgot to put on the floorboard in the front. Where is it? Here it is. Got bunny off for a second. Get this floorboard on here. It's after you put it in, you realize where the glue needs to be. Or the more important the glue is, I guess. There we go. Now we put back our bunny. There he is, the floorboard, so it's not open to the world anymore. Now it wants me to put some grass outside, but I'm not going to do that because that's just dust waiting to happen. Last little the front. So like I said, I bought another kit that's supposed to be like a little enchanted forest. and like the first line of the kit was, "Hey, everything in this entire kit might be different from what is pictured." That should have been my first clue, but it enough glue in you. Do one last gluing. Ink. Got it. Never-ending tea. Center a little bit more. I want to do tree powder. Wants me to put one plant here. Give it a good dollop because it's a funky little plant. This little wire plant that I made. That's in a minute. This one's gonna go on the other side, so I'm gonna pre-glue it so it's ready to go. You can see this. Oh, you're not. There. There it goes. This one goes in this back corner. That one over there. Now, ready for the tea shelf. Go down all the way over here. And little portrait of the March Hare. Cute little portrait. This from two angles. Center it on the wall here. And they want us to put the broom in the corner. Glue it a little bit so it can stick somewhere. At the top. Looks like that's where it actually sticks. Okay, please. Here's what we got so far. Now we're going to put in the tea counter. Down for a minute so it stays. And then the last element is our little lamp, which is in here. Little lamp that we made. Glue at the bottom. Up there. And that's it. Perfect. I have an extra butterfly. I'm gonna put it in the front. All the stuff I either didn't use, didn't work back. They give you a couple duplicates of some things, especially small stuff that you may lose or break. But there's our little tea house. It is super cute. I'm very happy with it. I'll post some photos on our Discord as well. Oh, that's not staying down. That needs some encouragement. There we go. Yeah. It's super cute. There's a lot of really fine detail that you're definitely not going to pick up on the computer or on the screen, but I really like it. These kits are really cute. I have more, so we'll probably do this again sometime. The book kit takes about 2 hours now that I know what I'm doing with these, so we could actually do one in a whole stream from start to finish sometime, which I think would be really fun. So with that, though, we're done for tonight. And dinner is here, so I should probably go eat. Zulu eats my dinner. And, yeah. So, Zulu, do we have anyone we're going to raid out to tonight? Who are we going to? Who needs to be raided? Also, I have a lot of extra glue. So I'm going to save that for my next project because I don't always include enough. Found a crochet artist that seems really fun. Ooh, let's go check it out. Thanks for hanging out, Midnights. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you around. Let's head on over to this crochet artist and see what's up.